Hey there, beautiful people. This is Mentor Shelley, your online business manager and HR consultant here tonight, here today, depending on when you're watching this or listening to this. We're going to be talking about a very important situation that happens with business owners, solopreneurs like yourself, small business owners, when you get to a point where you know you need additional help. But based on the type of help you need, you're not sure what type of help you need. Do you need a contractor where they can do a set of things for you for a short period of time? Or do you need an employer for more long term help? Depending on what direction your business is taking or what you're dealing with, we're going to get into knowing the difference, understanding what it is that you actually need, and be able to make the right decisions for your business. Stay tuned. Hey there, beautiful people. For all of my business owners that are dealing with the question, I know you're like, well, I know I need some help, but do I hire a contractor or do I hire an actual employee? That is going to be determined by the type of need you have. If you do see this live and you're joining us on this live, go ahead and like the video, share it, say hello. I may not be able to respond at this moment, but go ahead and participate in the live. You can, of course, we'll definitely just want to let you know I'm so glad that you are here to be able to take advantage of this information tonight as far as what it is that you will actually need as a business owner. Is it going to be a contractor or an employee? Now let's jump in here. You're at that point. You can no longer do it alone. Whether it's admin tasks, customer service, support, or sales support, you need help. But one big question is at the turning point. Should you hire an employee or an independent contractor? And I'm putting this question out there because making the wrong decision can cost you thousands in fines, penalties, legal headaches, and misclassifying a worker, whether it's intentional or by accident, can result in IRS penalties, back wages, and even lawsuits. So I would like for you to avoid all of that drama. That is why we're talking about this tonight. To help you make this decision, there are some key questions that we're going to ask. I'm going to ask you, and we're going to put in this live tonight, so live today, depending on when you're watching this, so you can avoid a lot of the penalties that come with making the wrong decision. Okay. So, do you want long-term support or temporary help? If you're hiring an employee, you're going to hire an employee if you need consistent long-term help in your business. Employees are ideal for core ongoing business functions like customer service, sales, or operations. They become a part of your team and help to build your company's success. That's when you go through the process of doing a W-2 and getting the I-9 and making sure they're eligible to work and things of that nature. Now, you're going to hire a contractor if you need a short-term specialized assistance for a project. Contractors work best on temporary or seasonal work like website design, copyright, bookkeeping, things of that nature. So an example of this, right? Example of this, let's go back, would be if you need a virtual assistant permanently to manage your emails, scheduling, then you would hire an employee. If you need help setting up your website once, then hire a contractor. Sometimes it's that simple, but sometimes it is not that simple. Now, number 2, who will control the process? Understand what you're doing, understand the type of working relationship you're choosing here. If you hire an employee if you dictate the how, the when, and the where the work is going to get done. Employees follow your schedule, use your tools, and work under direct supervision. Now, I can't make that decision for you. You have to understand that's what you're going to be doing. If you hire an employee, you want to dictate the how, you want to have that control. You're going to hire a contractor if they control their own work process. Contractors operate independently, using their own tools and deciding their hours and working without micromanagement. Is that something that you can deal with? Is that something that you want? Or do you want to hire an employee where you have the full control of the schedule, the tools, and the type of supervision that they have? Or do you just want to get the work done, or you just want to get that thing done to make sure you can continue with your business? These are questions you have to ask yourself as a business owner. For example, if you want someone to follow your exact company systems, hire an employee. If you're hiring someone for their specific expertise and you don't need to oversee their work, then hire a contractor. You want to make sure that you are giving room for that particular contractor to be able to use their expertise to help your business. Okay. Another question you have to ask yourself: will you provide equipment, software, and training? You will need to, if you're hiring an employee, then you will plan to train them, provide equipment, and cover their expenses. Employees are part of your team, so you're responsible for the tools, training, and development. But if you're hiring a contractor, then they bring their own expertise and tools. Contractors invest in their own training and pay for their own software and use their own resources to get the job done, which is why, just like you are a business owner, the contractors are business owners themselves or freelancers themselves. Okay, an example of this would be, you provide the equipment. Will you be providing the equipment or software? If you expect a graphic designer to use your company's software, then hire an employee. If they will use their own design programs and tools, then hire a contractor. At the end of the day, it's about ownership and direction. Okay. Another question you're going to be asking yourself between hiring a contractor and an employee. Hire an employee if they will be paid hourly on a set salary, regardless of work volume. You'll need to withhold taxes and offer benefits depending on the number of employees. If you have less than 10 to 20 employees, you're not really required to provide benefits unless it's over 50. Unless it's over 20, or depending on the state that you're in. We would have to look at state required regulations based on the Affordable Care Act requirements for tax reasons. That would be something that, of course, we would discuss on a case-by-case basis. You would hire an employee if you're going to be paying them hourly on it, or at a set salary, weekly salary, or yearly salary, regardless of the amount of work volume. You'll need to withhold taxes and offer benefits depending on the number of employees. You would hire a contractor if you pay them by the project, milestone, or result that they provide for you as a business owner on a contract basis. They invoice you for the work completed, and you do not withhold taxes. Contractors are responsible for paying for and making sure their taxes are taken care of. Also remember that you are not responsible for for making sure that they get paid on a specific period of time in their contracts, right? You want to make sure that if you're working with a contractor, that they are, the best way to put this, that you have how you're going to be paying them, and they're specifying how they want you to pay them straight for what they've done or the results they have provided for you. Okay, this is going to be it's going to be very, you have to be very meticulous when it comes to this. So who you hire or what type of help you hire makes a difference in how you pay them. Okay, example of this. If you pay someone $3,000 per month to manage your customer service, then hire the employee, because of course volume of that doesn't matter, as long as you pay them the agreed upon amount based on the offer letter that you give them, versus if you pay someone $500 per completed website design, then you've hired a contractor and you can pay them based on the tasks that's been completed. Now, why are we going through so much detail to find out what type of person you need to hire, whether it be contractor or employee? Because if you misclassify, right, we want to make sure. Hold on. Before we even get to that, I want to touch on something, okay? Let's see here. I didn't add it to the slides here, but I want to make sure you have this, or you're aware of this information as well. Let me come on the screen here for a little bit. How will you handle taxes? That's going to be key. Hire an employee if you're ready to handle payroll taxes, workers' compensation and unemployment insurance, and labor, and have be compliant with labor laws, making sure that you have your workers comp policy, and that you also have your labor laws in place. You're compliant with those labor laws. Employees come with additional tax and legal responsibilities. However, if you hire a contractor, you want to avoid payroll tax responsibilities. Independent contractors handle their own taxes, meaning you won't need to worry about payroll deductions. Example of this, you want to avoid tax filings and compliance issues. A contractor may be a better short-term fit, but if you need consistent team support, then hiring an employee would be the best thing to do. Okay, so let's jump back in here. So what happens if you misclassify a worker? You do not want to do that, folks. Let me make it bigger so you can see why. Many solopreneurs accidentally misclassify workers, treating them like employees but paying them as contractors. The IRS frowns upon this, folks. The IRS and the Department of Labor do not take this lightly. Misclassifications can lead to IRS fines, and back taxes for unpaid payroll taxes, penalties for unpaid overtime or benefits. It might seem like a short-term solution to classify them as contractors, but if you're classifying them as contractors and you need their help long-term, and the volume of work is not being paid for, and you control the time and volume of work that they do versus where they're working with you on a project, you may want to reconsider and classify them as employees instead of contractors. What happens when you misclassify a worker? Lawsuits for wrongful classification, hefty settlements, and back pay owed to workers, especially when you touch on the overtime stuff. You do not want the Department of Labor on your shoulder. That is not a good look as a business owner. So please do not misclassify workers all in the effort to avoid paying payroll taxes. It's worth it to go through the process, and those are things that I help you with as well. If you're unsure whether your worker should be an employee or a contractor, it's best to consult an HR expert like myself before making this costly mistakes. These are things that we discuss in a consultation as well. The bottom line is how you decide to protect, how to decide and to protect your business. If all else fails, folks, hire an employee if you need long-term ongoing help. If you control the schedule and their work progress or work process, you provide the tools, the training, and the benefits, and you're willing to handle payroll taxes. That's all what comes with an employee. Bottom line, and how you decide to protect your business. If you want a contractor, if you need short-term specialized support, they control their own schedule and they provide their own tools and training. You do not want to manage their taxes. However, the control as far as their schedule is on them, not you. So you're paying them for a result, not to try to control every aspect of it, but you're paying them for a result. Give them the opportunity to produce that result for you. Okay? That's what hiring a contractor truly means. Now, as you know, I specialize in helping solopreneurs and small business owners hire the right way, protect your business, and avoid expensive HR mistakes, and make sure to help you avoid compliance mistakes, especially when classifying or unfortunately misclassifying a person that is working for you. If you're looking for help and you're not sure what decision to make, go ahead and book an HR consultation with us at calendly.com/mentorshelley3. And make sure your hiring is 100% compliant so your growing business can grow without legal worries, hangups, or setbacks. Okay, please don't risk costly mistakes because you're trying to avoid one thing and end up in another. Okay, of course, if you are looking for additional help, you can always go ahead and tune in every Tuesday when the live stream airs on this channel, whether you're watching it on my LinkedIn profile or you're watching it on YouTube. It's going to be at youtube.com/mentorshelleyhr. And of course, if you have questions that don't take a long time, then of course, if it takes less than 5 minutes to respond to, go ahead and go to mentorshelley.com/contact, where you can leave me a voicemail or an email message. I'm more than happy to return your voicemail or email within 24 hours. And of course, share this video with somebody that you know finds it useful, like the video, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on your post notifications for when we have another video coming up. This is Mentor Shelley, your HR consultant, here to help your business to become better every day. And in doing so, we want to make sure that we can help you to make the right business decisions to avoid penalties and to avoid legal troubles. All right, guys, take care. You have a good one. Bye.